Welcome to NextGames review of 2021 and preview of 2022 end of year video. Now in this video, I will start by briefly touching upon what was accomplished on the channel in 2021, and then moving on to what we are to expect here in 2022. Now this next year is going to be a huge year for the channel, with the 20th anniversary of Final Fantasy XI and the 10th anniversary of Star Wars The Old Republic, and with major updates expected in both. Now so far this year, I have released 290 guides and videos, nearly doubling the total number of videos on the channel. Now 202 of these were strictly related to Final Fantasy XI, 70 of them Assassin's Creed Valhalla, 9 for Star Wars The Old Republic, and 7 for Elder Scrolls Online. I also did 2 videos on Alien Fireteam Elite. Now from those, we were able to double the channel's total views to over 700,000, and subscribers grew by over 1,400. People also watched my guides this year for a total of 36,000 hours. Now, interactions with viewers also went up as well, with nearly 6,600 likes and 1,300 comments. Thank you so much to everyone for watching videos this year and making the channel more of a success than I had ever hoped for. Now let's move on to the road ahead, starting with the most popular game on the channel, Final Fantasy XI. Now first and foremost, next year marks the 20th anniversary of the game, and everyone is expecting some major changes this year. We have already started to see those changes with the new Master Level system. I will of course be covering all the new content as it's released to inform both existing players and ones who are considering a return to the game what the changes look like from a gameplay perspective. Now in the next few months, I will also be releasing an update to my Make Final Fantasy XI Beautiful in 2021 video. There are 2 main changes this year. The first being the addition of a next level lore-friendly texture pack that tries to improve the graphics of the original game while changing as little of Square's original design as possible, so places like the Eschen zones will remain black and white as they were intended. Now the second major change is that it appears we have a fix for the people having the black screens when zoning into certain areas like Resenma. Now I'm going through and finishing up my testing of this new fix to make sure it's complete, and we'll be covering how to do this in a new video so that people who have been plagued by this issue in the past can actually finally fix it when they modify their game. Now I'll also be releasing a series going into the history of Final Fantasy XI and what the game looked like at different stages in its evolution over the last 20 years. Another series that will be a main focus of 2022 are the Journey of Cyberlogic series, which is covering an entire playthrough of the game. Now we are currently at level 65 in the series and should be approaching things like Ambuscade in the coming months, which should be fun to show how you transition from the levels to the eye levels of the game. I intend on leaving this character with only enough job points for Sesame San and keeping it lower geared, trying to continue to give us a perspective on what the challenge new players face. Now other series that will continue to be a main part of the channel are the Unity series, where I take on the Unity NMs with multiple jobs and gearing setups, the Odyssey series, where we will be finishing up showing how to take on the Atonement 3 and 4 NMs on the higher Vengeance levels, and the Atmosphere series and Cutscene series, to remind us all how beautiful and well-storied this game is, as well as the Unplugged series that I've recently started, showing what can be accomplished by using only the vanilla game and no additional add-ons or Window 4. Now, a new series in 2022 will also include Dynamis, Vagary, and Incursion, as my boys' characters are mirroring the journey of Cyberlogic, so they should reach endgame content in the coming months as well. This will allow me to slow down the runs of these different areas and give a low-man perspective for the new players to this content. Next, let's cover Assassin's Creed Valhalla, as it was looking like our time with this game was coming to an end with only a handful of mastery challenges and Tombs of the Fallen videos left to make, but they've just announced a new expansion to the game that is the size of the previous game that's going to be released in 2022 called Dawn of Ragnarok. Now I know the Assassin's Creed videos aren't the most popular on my channel, but I do intend on continuing to cover this new DLC for those that have been enjoying the game thus far. Now let's talk about Star Wars The Old Republic, which next year will see its 10-year anniversary. Now this game has come a long way since the start, and it's about to have its major update 7.0 released, which is going to be an entire overhaul of the game and all of the jobs in it. Now I look forward to covering these changes and seeing how it affects my Flashpoint runs with the 8 Force-sensitive classes that I have ready for endgame content. Now lastly, let's discuss Elder Scrolls Online, which is in the middle of its Gates of Oblivion expansion. My son is now playing the game with me, so look for both new solo dungeon guides and duo dungeon guides in 2022. I did also want to take this time to thank my patron supporters. Over the years, I've been asked on a handful of occasions how people can help support the channel, so I set up a patron page for people who wish to do that. Thanks so much to all of my supporters, it means so much to me. Special mention to William M. for being by far the biggest supporter to date. If you want to support my channel, please be sure to check out the patron page linked at the top of my channel or simply go to patreon.com/nextgames. Now the last thing I wanted to make sure to mention is I do have 2 other channels that I make content for, and I wanted to mention them here in case some of my viewers had interest. Now the first channel is called NextBrick, which covers LEGO lighting and display, showing how to build and create several of the displays that you see here behind me. The second is called NextGear, which is a brand new channel that will cover my cars and the time I spend on them at the track. I hope I'll see you over at either of those 2 channels if you have interest in them. They will be linked at the end of this video. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I'm excited to see what 2022 has in store for us. Have a wonderful new year. As always, stay safe and stay healthy out there.